So I've just joined now. So, sir, can you?
Okay, I've muted all because there was noise, and you will have to talk back to me on.
Sir, I've just joined now. Can you repeat everything?
Nothing else. Just waiting. Fine, but I'm going to mute all because there is a lot of noise I'm hearing. Okay, so I don't want to allow you to unmute because you please use the chat only. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's get started. I think yesterday what we were looking at is the night movements, and we saw some special powers of the night, which is that it is able to jump, right? And also that it alternates colors, right? Every move that it makes, it will change the color of the square on which it stands. That is something unique. All other pieces either move on the same square like bishop, or they can move to any color. There is no restriction. But the knights always change colors. So this is something that you should use to your advantage. Okay. So if it is white, then next move it will go to black, and from black it will go to next move, it will again go to white. Okay, compulsory. Okay. Now let us see how much you understand. Now let us say in this position here, right? This position highlighted square chessboard, the knight is on e2 and the pawn, there is a black pawn on e3. Imagine that only white has to move. Okay, imagine how many moves will it take for the knight to reach from e2 to e3 square? Can you tell me? E2 to e3. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, Ansh is saying 3 moves. Anyone else saying how many moves? Four moves. Venkatesh is saying 4 moves. Okay. 4 moves. Which color will it land on, Venkatesh? Currently it is on white square. After 1 move, it will be on black. After 2 moves, it will be on white. Right? After 4 moves, it will be again on white. Right? So answer cannot be 4. Okay. 1 move. How can you knight reach to e3 square in 1 move? Nakshatra or Pratiksha? There is no way it can move in 1 move. How will it go? Okay, the answer is 3 moves. Ansh got it right. There is a logic to it. First, that you are changing the color from white to black. So E2 is a white light square, and E3 is a dark square. So every time you change the color, the knight will have to make either 1 move, 3 moves, 5 moves, 7 moves, 9 moves, like that, odd number of moves. Because only after odd number of moves will it change color. Right? If it does even number of moves, then it will land on the same color. Okay, so anytime you make 2 moves, 4 moves, 6 moves, 8 moves, you will come back on the same square. Right? So Pratiksha and Nakshatra, I hope you realize there is no 1 move, it is not possible for the knight to go from e2 to e3. But in 3 moves, it is possible. There are so many ways of reaching there in 3 moves. Right? So that is that. So for example, it can go from E2 to G3. From G3, it can go to F5, and from F5, it can come to E3, or it can go to C3. Knight from E2, it can go to C3, and then it can go to D1, and then come to E3. Right? So it can come. So there are many ways of coming, knight coming there. Okay. Now let us see the next thing. In this position here, the next square, which is highlighted here, right? Yeah, in this square, in this chessboard, the knight is on F1, right? And it has to reach the H3 square. Okay, only the knight is going to move. How many moves it will take for the black knight to reach the H3 square? How many? Four. Okay. Anyone else? 6. Okay, 6 is logically possible because one nakshatra, I don't know how you are saying it. One move, how is it possible? You know how the night moves. There is no possible move in which one move it can reach there. Are you getting the question completely wrong? There is no way the knight can go from f1 to h3 in one move. How will it go? Nakshatra, I am going to unmute you. So you can unmute yourself and talk now. What is the thing? I mean, I am not able to understand why you are saying one move. Ramnath is saying 6 moves. 6 moves, it is certainly possible, but 4 moves is the minimum in which it can reach. So answer, minimum number of moves that is required is 4 moves. Okay. How? It can go to say E3 and come to G2 and then go to F4 and reach on H3, right? Or it can go to where? It can go to D2, then it can come to F3, then it can come to G4, G5, and then come to H3, right? There are so many moves. 6 moves is not required. You can take 6 moves, but so Agastya, you want to talk? I hope it is not noisy because I thought, okay, I am allowing you to unmute.
Sir, I want to say 3 moves is correct, but it will take 1 move to kill. So that's why I think it's 4.
No. In the second position that I am showing, it will take 4 moves. Okay, it will always take 4 moves.
Sir, I was talking about the first one.
First position, yeah, it will take 3 moves. First position, it will take 2. Second position, it will take 4 moves. Okay. So Ramnath,
Sir, let me.
minimum. We are asking how many minimum number of.
Sir, it's 2 moves.
2 moves. It is not possible in
Sir,
second.
it's 2 moves.
Second position, 2 moves. How? Tell me.
Sir,
Tell me.
Sir, from where the knight is standing,
F1.
it will go to.
Wait. You should use
yeah,
the
from F1 to E.
F1
From
to
F1 to E3.
E3.
Then
One.
E3 to E3 to F5.
E3 to F5. Now there are 2 moves are already done. Now how will you reach there in 2 moves? 2 moves you have not reached. Right? So it will take 4 moves. Just write out. I have already shown you 2, 3
So
ways.
what are the 4 moves? I had written them all down.
Okay.
And I did not bring my diary because I'm in my friend's house right now.
Knight to D2 first.
Tell him
Knight to D2, then to E4, then to G5, and then to H3. That is one way. Okay. Or knight.
Sir, actually, my dad found one way to help me, and I found one way for myself.
I don't know, but
Which actually took 4 moves. So 4 moves take both the ways. So 4 moves is correct.
Yeah, D2, E4, G5, H3 is one way, or G3, E4, G5, and H3. Okay. So no, actually I'm in mute all because I'm getting noise.
Sir, I just wanted you to repeat because I just.
No. Nobody. I think it is too much time we spend. So it can go to D2, E4, G5, H3, or G3, E4, G5, H3. Right. So many ways of reaching there, but in 4 moves always. Okay. All right. Now let us go to the. So that is about the knight. Okay. So what you can do is you can try to put some random. Put a knight on a random chessboard on some square and decide some other destination square and try to reach it in the minimum number of moves. Firstly, you will know whether if it is the same color, then it will always be even number of moves. If it is opposite color, then it will be odd number of moves. That much you know. Now after that, try to find out the minimum path. Okay. minimum path of the knight. All right. Okay, fine. Now let us move on to the queen. Okay, queen, you know, moves in all directions like a rook as well as a bishop together. Queen is a combination of rook and bishop, right? So let us look at how the queen moves. Queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard, right? Why? Because it can move like this. It can. So if you see the from the we had learned about the centralization, right? The importance of centralization, and as the pieces go towards the center, the their power increases. The number of squares that it controls increases. Now, if you place a queen in any of the key center squares, can you tell which are the key center squares? There are 4 key center squares. Can anyone type out the names of the 4 key squares? No, A1, H8 is not a key thing. It is not a key square. It's a key center square. Key central squares. They are E4, D4, E5, and D5 at the center of the chessboard. Right? These are the 4 squares at the center of the chessboard. These are called as key center squares. If a queen is placed anywhere on the key center squares, it controls a massive 27 squares on the chessboard. Right? I have just listed down one of them in one position. But similarly, in any of the key squares, if you place the queen, then it controls 27 squares. Okay. Now, if you remember, we had done this exercise where we had found out how many squares does a piece control when it is starting from the edge of the chessboard as it goes into the center, right? And do you remember how much rook controls? Rook controls how much? You have forgotten everything. Come on, give me the answer. How many? 1, 10, 5, 16, 26. How many does rook control from anywhere on the chessboard? It is 14. Agastya got it right. It is 14. Rook controls anywhere, no matter where you place it, rook controls 14. And bishop controls how many? When it is on the edge of the board, completely edge of the board. Right? No, not 10. It controls 7 moves on the edge of the board. And then the next line, it controls 9. One square inside, it controls 9. And then it becomes 11. And then on the key central squares, E4, D4, E5, D5, it controls 13 squares. Right? The queen is an addition of rook and a bishop. So it controls, from the key center, it controls 14 plus 13 equal to 27 squares it controls. Okay. And it goes in all directions. If you see front, back, left side, right side, and then the corner, 4 corners, right? So it can attack in all directions, and that is the reason why the queen is so important and so valuable. Okay, in fact, it is more valuable than the simple addition of a rook and a bishop, because when you combine it, it is even more powerful. Right? Correct. Right? Now let us look at it how the queen is moving, right? So when the queen, okay, can you see how the queen is placed? It is attacking in 2 directions. It is attacking. There is a pawn. It is attacking a white bishop. It is attacking. It is not attacking the rook. Why? Because queen cannot jump over, or queen's power cannot jump over another piece. It gets blocked. So there is a knight in between the rook and the queen. So the queen is not able to attack the rook, right? But similarly, the queen is not able to attack the knight, white knight. Why? Because there is a pawn in between and the power stops there, right? If you saw the knight's power doesn't get blocked by anything in between. It will always, the knight's power is jumps over other pieces, but it is not so for the queen, right? Queen will get blocked depending on any other, its own piece or any other piece comes. Yes, in one case the knight is blocking the queen from the rook. In the other case, the pawn is blocking the other white knight from the queen. Right? So this is how the queen. Now, can you see here maximum how many opponent's pieces can a queen attack at one time? How many pieces can it? 8. Agastya is right, absolutely right. Ramnath, no, it is not 3, it is 8. Can you see? Not in the this diagram. Maximum I'm asking, maximum, which is actually shown in this diagram here, right? It is 8 because it can go in 8 directions, right? All 8 directions it can actually attack something, right? So maximum it can attack is 8. Okay? And see how in this next diagram here in this position, the queen is able to make one move and attack everything that is there. If it goes from b4 to b5 square, if it goes to g5, then it is attacking both the rooks, both the knights, plus one bishop and plus one pawn. Everything it is attacking, right? So this is the power of the queen. So you should always look out how to use the queen effectively, right? So queen is very, very powerful. Okay. All right. Now, can you look at this position? Can you place the queen on one square where it will attack all the 3 black pieces? All the 3 black pieces, and while it itself will not get attacked. E6. No, E6 is not. E4. E4 is correct. See, E5, it is going to attack only the bishop from E5, but from E4 it will attack everything. It will attack the bishop on E7, it will attack the knight on G2, as well as the other bishop on A4. It will attack everything. So queen to E4 is the right move for this, for queen to attack everything, right? All right, all right. So this is fine. Now let us go back one position. Now look at this position carefully. Look at this position carefully. Okay, there are no kings in this because I have put in only the queen just to realize how the power of the queen is there and how it can move. Can you tell how does white play? So winning here does not mean checkmate. Winning means just killing the opponent's pieces and killing the pawns. Okay, so who will be white to play? Can you tell how white to play will be able to win here? Queen h8. Yeah, queen h8. Yep. You can move the queen to h8, correct. And then what will happen? No matter what black moves, you will be able to kill one of the pieces, right? You will be able to kill one of the pieces no matter what happens. If the bishop moves, then you will be able to kill the rook. If the rook moves, then you will be able to kill the bishop, right? h8, yes, queen h8 is the move. Queen h8, and after that what will happen is you will be able to win one of the pieces, and then very soon you will be able to win the other piece, right? So queen to h8, yes, I think everyone got it right. Okay, all right. So now what do we do? Now, see, you have to get the, okay, there is one more thing that I forgot to tell you. So about the knight, let me tell you about the knight. See, you have seen that the knight, how it moves in L shape, right? Like this, right? Now, always half of the squares is in the front, half of the square is in the back. Half of the square is on the left, half of the squares are on the right. That's how the knight moves symmetrically, right? It is like, if you see all the squares that it attacks, it is almost like a circle, right? It doesn't, not a perfect circle, but similar to a circle, right? So this is how the knight attacks. And this is the reason why the knight, as it gets centralized, it is like in tremendously powerful. Okay, it can attack so many squares in opponent's half. Okay, 4 squares it can attack in opponent's half. Or if it goes to, let us say if the knight goes to e6, white knight suppose lands on e6, okay, or d6 or f6 or c6, okay, anywhere, it controls 6 squares in the opponent's half, right? Can you see which squares? If the knight is on f6, yes, that's correct, always the knight will change the colors. Okay, now let us imagine the knight is on f6. How many squares in the opponent's camp it controls? It controls e8, it controls g8, it controls h7, it controls h5, it controls d5, and it controls d7, right? So 6 squares in opponent's half and 2 squares on its own half it will control, right? So this is the power of the knight. Okay, 6 squares it can actually hold up in opponent's position and become a very powerful piece if it is able to get an outpost, if it is, you are able to place it in the opponent's thing without getting disturbed. Okay, so this is the power. Also there is a reason now, you will, I hope you will realize why the knight in the beginning, when you are playing beginning, the knight should never be played to h3 or h6 if you are black, or knight to a3 if you are white, or a6 if you are black. You know why? It's a bad move if you put the knight to a3 or h3 as white. Can you tell why? Because when it is on the edge of the chessboard, half of the power is lost. Because see, if it is on h3, imagine the knight is on h3, half of its power is going outside of the chessboard, which is of no use to anybody, and only half of it is remaining. Versus if it comes to f3, then all the squares that it hits are on the chessboard, right? So knight to f3 is a very good move, or knight to c3 is a very good move, but knight to h3 or a3 are bad moves, right? Similarly for black. So remember this very much. Never play your knights to the edge of the chessboard. Okay, there are some situations where why you might want to do it, but not most of the time. 90% of the time you don't want to put your knight on the edge of the chessboard, because half of its power is lost, it becomes less powerful. Okay, so remember, that's why the standard developing moves are f3 and c3 for white, and f6 and c6 for black. Okay, all right, fine. So any questions? Now I'm going to unmute you all. In fact, what can I do? I will say allow all participants to. Okay, now all of you, if you want, you can unmute yourself. I will go ahead with your questions if there are any.
So, I think
Yes.
night. So for the night, is it a pattern white black?
I didn't understand. What is that? Sorry.
So for the night, is it a pattern white black, white black, white black?
Yes, that is the pattern. It will always change colors, alternate colors.
Sir.
Wait. One by one. Okay. One by one. First, you type
I
that.
still have one more question.
Sorry.
Why is the queen the most powerful piece?
Because it has got the powers of both the rook and the bishop together. That is why. And that is how it is the rules of the game give it that power.
Sir, and after how many minutes is the arena?
Arena is starting at 7:40 India time, which is right 7:20, another 15 minutes. No, 13 minutes. 13 minutes.
Sir,
Yes.
for the king only moves everywhere, but in one
Correct. Only one square at a time in all directions. So it moves.
step.
It moves in all directions like the queen. Only thing is that the range is to only one square. The queen can move all the way to the edge of the board.
Yeah.
The king can move only one step, but in all directions, all 8 directions. So that's why it can move to 8 squares.
Yeah, but if the some piece is blocking the queen, then the queen can only go to the open spaces.
You are right. You are right. So queen maximum is
Sir,
27,
do you know?
but
Sir,
it
do you
can
know?
get
Yeah.
blocked. It can get blocked.
Sir, and do you know what is stalemate?
Stalemate, I'm going to teach you guys. So stalemate is a special position.
Sir.
Don't worry about it. We are going to learn about it. Stalemate.
Because yesterday in the arena when I was playing with Ramnath, I got stalemate.
Okay, so I'll tell you then very quickly what stalemate is.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I know what is stalemate. I'll search in Google.
Okay.
Stalemate means none of the players have any move to play, right?
There is no legal move. So what happens is your opponent, if you are not giving him any legal move to make, but you are not giving him a check also, then the game is stuck there, and then hence it is called as stalemate. Okay, it is not a checkmate. See, checkmate is when you are checking the opponent king and then he does not have any legal move. That is when it is checkmate. But if you are not checking him and then not allowing him to make any legal move, right, then it is a stalemate. So I will be teaching it with examples in class. Yes.
Sir, checkmate is like where it is like a situation where the king cannot move or something.
No, but as I explained just now, it is not that just the king cannot move, but the king should be in check, and there should be absolutely no legal moves for that king. That is when, or you cannot. There are no legal moves possible, and the king is in check. Then it is a checkmate, because next move it is going to get killed.
Yeah, and
So-
sir, when it is stalemate, it is a draw, right?
It's a draw. Stalemate is considered as a draw.
Sir, sir, I'm Augustine to say something.
Yes.
So, uh, when I was playing against Anj the first time, he gave me every of his piece for free.
Yeah.
I just took it.
It may be a blunder, right? It may be a blunder when you are not defending your piece and the opponent can take it. That may happen.
He gave like every piece to me, but not the king.
Yeah.
That was the first time I played chess. I never played it.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. So, okay. So your arena is starting in about 10 minutes from now. Let me know if you are going to have any other question on today's class. Today's class, knight and queen. Is there any question on that?
Sir,
No, sir. But
sir, I'm very bad. Sir, I'm Augustine. I'm very bad with the bishops.
Then you should practice with the bishops how to move, how the move. So what you do is, I'll tell you one technique.
Sir,
Wait, listen first. Put a bishop. There is a 1 hour it will take. Okay. Put a bishop on A1 square. Okay. Then move it on all the squares that it can move to and bring it back to A1. Okay. Next, put it on A2 square. Then try to move it to all the squares that possibly it can move to. Okay. Then bring it back. Then go to like this. Do it for all the 64 squares. It will take you about 1 hour. But then you will become very good at how the bishop moves.
and sir, I have one more question.
Okay.
That is, my mom thinks that the bishop is the second strongest, and I think the rook is the second strongest.
Yes. No. Queen is the strongest. Rook is the second strongest, and then knight and bishop are equal in power.
sir,
Yes.
sir, for the yesterday's arena, I got one game. Then I waited for a long time. I didn't get any game.
Oh, that is so sad. That happened because only 4 or 5 people were there. That is why. So, but today I hope all of you are joining. Then you will get games.
Yeah, because yesterday only few people joined. I saw.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, today I want everyone to join the arena. Okay.
So there were only 5 people. Now
Yes.
only Nakshatra did not join.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if the knight is on black, then it can move to the white squares. But if it's on white, then it can move to black squares.
Correct.
Right, sir?
Correct. Every time it will change color. Every time.
Okay, sir.
So do you know, when I was just the first match against Venkatesh, when I did that, Venkatesh always defeated me all the time. But this time when I played against Venkatesh, I checkmated him.
Good. I think all of you are becoming better. So you should be. Sometimes you will be winning, sometimes you will be losing, but it will keep happening. I think. And
Sir, the only problem in our arena is that odd number of people join.
yeah,
Like if
that
the
was yesterday, but today all of you are there, and I hope you will join too. Okay, all of you will join. So okay, all right. So I guess the questions are over on the thing. So I'm going to end it. So you have about 5 more minutes, 7, 8 more minutes to join the arena. So maybe you can take a restroom or whatever it is. You can take a break, take some water, maybe have some small snack or something, and then you can join the arena. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
going to stop
Bye,
the